Welcome to the Grafton Middle School Rising 7th and 8th grade pre-registration parent information session. Today's session will include information on different courses, course requirements, and all of the information you need to know for current 6th and 7th grade students to make course selections for the 2021-2022 school year. Today we're going to go over a lot of information, so mark your calendars for February 11th at 6:30 p.m. where we will host a live question and answer session with GMS counselors for all things registration.
I'm Jen Richardson and I am the counseling director. I'm also the counselor for 7th grade this year. I want to introduce you to our counseling team. Mrs. San Lorenzo is our 6th grade counselor, and Mrs. Coble is our 8th grade counselor, and Mrs. Gentry is our registrar. I work with the 7th graders and I will move up with them to 8th grade next year, and Mrs. Coble will bounce back down to 7th grade. Mrs. San Lorenzo is always our 6th grade counselor, and she splits her time between two schools, Grafton Middle School and Queens Lake. This is our administrative team. Mrs. Tiana Anthony is our principal. Mr. Gavin and Mrs. Brownlee are our assistant principals, and Mrs. Martin is our assessment and compliance coordinator. She does all things testing, including SOLs. She also is the 504 coordinator.
For our current 6th grade students, these are the required courses for 7th grade year. Students will take either English or Advanced English based on teacher recommendation at the end of the year. All students will take Life Science. All students will take U.S. History Part 2, which picks up right where 6th grade history left off. There are 3 different courses available for 7th grade math. These courses will be based upon current math teacher recommendations that will come out at the end of the year. All students will take PE. All 7th grade students will take career investigations if able to fit in their schedule, and either 2 or 3 electives, depending on which math course they're taking.
8th grade required courses are English 8 or Advanced English 8, Physical Science, Civics and Economics, 3 different math levels, PE, Career Investigations if students didn't take it in 7th grade, and 2 to 3 electives depending upon their math course.
On this slide, you'll see the middle school math sequence. For our current 6th graders, over on the left-hand side of the chart, you'll see either Foundations of Algebra 6 or Pre-Algebra 6. This chart is designed to show the trajectory of which courses a student will take as they progress through middle school and into their first year of high school. This chart includes the course name, the grade level standards, and the SOL associated with the course. For students that are in Foundations of Algebra 6, they may be recommended for one of the following 2 courses for 7th grade. Students currently enrolled in these 7th grade courses, Foundations of Algebra 7, Pre-Algebra 7, or Algebra 1, will go to the corresponding course for the following year. Final recommendations will come with 4th quarter report cards, and we'll talk more in the next slides on what teachers are looking at when making those considerations. For current 6th grade students, the following 3 courses are available for next year. Placement in these courses are determined by the final recommendation done by the grade level math teacher. For students enrolled in Foundations of Algebra 6, there are 2 options for next year. Students who do well may be recommended for Pre-Algebra 7, which covers 8th grade content as well as 7th grade. Students upon completion of Foundations of Algebra 6 may also be recommended for Foundations of Algebra 7, covering those 7th grade standards. For students who are currently in Pre-Algebra 6, the course that covers 6th, 7th, and 8th grade standards, those students will be recommended for Algebra 1 next year. This course is for high school credit and will cover 9th grade standards. For our current 7th grade students, students enrolled in Foundations of Algebra 7 will be recommended for Pre-Algebra 8 for their 8th grade year. Students that are enrolled in Pre-Algebra 8, which covers both 7th and 8th grade standards, will be recommended for Algebra 1 for 8th grade year. Students that have completed Algebra 1 and passed in 7th grade will be recommended for Advanced Geometry in 8th grade year. It's important to note that the courses of Algebra 1 and Advanced Geometry are high school credit courses and will go into the student's academic record and their GPA.
Students also have the opportunity to take Advanced English. Advanced English is reading and writing intensive. It goes at a faster pace and there's a higher level of reasoning. Students who are successful in Advanced English are very motivated to do well. Teachers recommend students for Advanced English. Teachers consider their work ethic and their performance, as well as assessments. There is a commitment from students to complete summer work assignments if they are provided. Final teacher recommendations for math, English, and world language are made at the end of the school year. In June, families will receive final report cards and a letter indicating final recommendations. Parents, please remember that we are only halfway through the school year. If you are worried that your student is in danger of not being recommended for the next level, teachers will be in contact with you.
Here's a sample schedule based on the math courses of Foundations of Algebra 7, Pre-Algebra 7, and Pre-Algebra 8. All of these math courses meet every day. So if you're recommended for one of these courses, this is an example of what your schedule may look like. For current 6th graders, the biggest difference to note in this schedule is that for 6th grade, your English class meets every single day, whereas in 7th and 8th grade, English meets every other day. You'll notice that the only course that meets every day in this schedule is the math course. All students will have PE, English, Social Studies, Science, and 2 elective blocks for this schedule. Here's a sample schedule for if your student is recommended for Algebra 1 or Advanced Geometry. Notice that this math course meets every other day, so there are no courses that meet every single day in this schedule. For our current 6th graders taking Pre-Algebra 6, you'll notice that you are going to have 3 elective blocks opening up because your English class will no longer meet every day, and neither will your math. All students will still take English, math, science, and history, as well as PE. But because this course only meets every other day, it opens up 3 elective blocks in the student's schedule. Next, we will talk about the elective courses that are available as year-long electives. It's important to note that in the newsletter sent out to your email, there's an additional resource of videos recorded by our elective teachers. There you can get a better idea of course descriptions as well as projects that are done in each of these classes. Grafton Middle School has a variety of world language options for 7th and 8th grade students. Please note that counselors will screen students to make sure that placement is appropriate in these courses. For students wishing to take French or Spanish 1 in the classroom, counselors will be looking to see that students have mostly A's and B's in core classes. For French and Spanish 1, these courses are offered in the classroom at Grafton Middle School. Both of these courses are year-long and for high school credit. They'll introduce students into reading, writing, speaking, and culture, as well as grammar. It's important to note that counselors will be looking to make sure that students are appropriate for placement in these courses. We will look at English grades as well as other core classes to make sure that taking on a world language is coming at a good time and students aren't overwhelming their schedules. For students who have completed French or Spanish 1 during the 7th grade, they may get a recommendation for French or Spanish 2 to enroll in for 8th grade year. Students may not enroll in a second level course until completion of level 1. All of the grades in these courses listed are for high school credit and will go into the high school transcript and
students also have the opportunity to take German, Arabic, Mandarin Chinese, and Latin through virtual programs. German is through the York County Virtual High School program, and Arabic, Chinese, and Latin are through Virtual Virginia. This means that students will not have a Grafton Middle School teacher for these classes. They will work in a computer lab with a mentor, but they will be contacting their teachers through these two programs. As you parents are well aware, virtual classes are challenging. So when thinking about picking one of these virtual classes, remember the challenge of virtual learning as well as high school credit level work. Students will learn the basic skills of listening, speaking, reading, and writing. A good indicator of success for your student in middle school taking a high school credit world language class is how are they doing right now? Are they getting mostly A's, especially in English, and maybe a few B's? It's important to remember that high school credit classes are demanding, and the workload is that of a high school class. There's going to be daily studying, and tests are going to cover writing and speaking performance tasks. It's also important, if your child is in a world language class, that they have a good foundation. Our teachers will recommend students for the next level as long as they show a strong foundation and have at least an 84 average.
Here we'll discuss our music electives and the rest of our year-long courses. For students in 6th grade, chorus was available as a semester-long course. For 7th and 8th grade, chorus is available as a year-long course. In chorus, students are getting comfortable with performing, they are singing, and also learning to read music. For band, we have a variety of levels, and placement depends on how much experience students have. If 6th graders did not take band this year, but they would like to take it for next year, they would enroll in beginning band. For students currently in beginning band, they would enroll in intermediate, and for 7th grade students that are currently in intermediate band, they could enroll in advanced band. Here's a look at our band instruments. So for students that are enrolling in band, it's important that you designate which instrument you'd like your child to play. There will be a section on registration forms where students can specify which instrument they'd like to play. This is important in how we divide up the different band courses available. Yearbook is an option that students may be interested in taking for the upcoming school year. Students who participate in yearbook are actually making the product that we sell at the end of the year. Students may be involved with taking pictures, designing pages, interviewing, and other skills. So for this reason, we do have our yearbook set up through an application process. Students would indicate that they are interested in participating in this course, but we will also double check to make sure that they have filled out the application that goes with it. This is what they need to do to be considered for the course, but it does not guarantee selection. We only have one class of yearbook, and so it is competitive as far as which students are able to take this course. A copy of the application is included in this presentation, as well as a link in the newsletter that came out for all of the registration information.
Remember that the theme for middle school Encore courses is exploration. We want students to try new things in middle school, and therefore we have a lot of great offerings which are semester-long classes. We have career and technical education classes, which include engineering, problem solving and design, introduction to programming and game design, computer science discoveries, inventions and innovations, make it your business, family and consumer sciences, and career investigations. Career investigations is a mandatory middle school class. We will do our best to place most 7th graders in career investigations. If there is a scheduling conflict, no worries, your student will be able to take career investigations in 8th grade. We also have some fine art classes, introduction to art, drawing and painting, and sculpture and crafts. We have a theater department with introduction to drama, drama productions, and musical stage productions. And then we have some general courses: exploratory world language, introduction to forensic science, criminal justice, and public speaking. Remember to check out the links for all of these classes to meet the teacher and find out more about these classes.
For our current 7th grade students, as rising 8th grade students, we want to make sure that we're covering diploma requirements as well as some specialty programs that you'll hear more about your 8th grade year. There are 2 different diploma types. We have the Advanced Studies Diploma for 26 credits, as well as the Standard Diploma for 22 credits. These charts will show the differences between the 2 diploma types when deciding which diploma type is going to be most appropriate for your student. If you look at the Advanced Studies Diploma type over on the left-hand side, you'll notice that for English, history, math, and science, there are 4 credits. That means that for every year of high school, a student will be enrolled in all 4 of those courses. This is no different than the courses that they are doing right now as far as keeping a full schedule with 4 core classes. Students will be required to do health and PE, and there is a world language requirement. For the Advanced Studies Diploma, the world language requirement is to either take 3 consecutive years of a single language, so think of Spanish 1 through 3, or to take 2 years of 2 different languages, so think Spanish 1 and 2, followed by French 1 and 2. Students will be required to do a Fine Arts or CTE course, Econ and Personal Finance, which is available online, and then 3 additional electives, 2 of which must be consecutive electives. So think of an introductory art course followed by a more expansive art course. Again, there is a requirement for one of their high school courses to be virtual, but this can be covered with the Econ and Personal Finance course. Over on the right-hand side for the Standard Diploma, you'll notice that one of the differences between the 2 programs is that there are only 3 math requirements and 3 years of lab science. There is also a difference in the world language and elective options in that they are clustered together for the Standard Diploma. For the Standard Diploma, there is still a requirement of at least 2 consecutive electives. That means enrolling an elective course that will build upon itself in another year. Another requirement is the virtual course, which again can be met with the econ and personal finance. There's no pressure to feel like you have to know all of this information right now, but as students start to have opportunities to enroll in high school credit courses, it's important to know how this may have implications for their high school career. One of the unique programs we have in York County is our honors program. For current 7th grade students, as 8th grade students, your counselor will look to see which students are enrolled in the following 3 courses for consideration into the honors program. Students must be taking Advanced English 8, a high school credit math, and a high school credit language for eligibility. For those 8th grade students that are determined eligible, at the beginning of 8th grade, counselors will screen for those courses, and an honors program agreement will be sent home, usually around October. This form will include details on the program, as well as requirements that 8th graders must keep up in order to remain eligible in the program. In the next slide, we'll look at more specific requirements that will come up in high school for this program, as 8th grade is only the entry year for this program. The York County Honors Program is a way for students to distinguish themselves when considering going to a college. It is an additional seal on top of the Advanced Studies program requirements. Students who are eligible and participate in the honors program will have additional requirements as they enter high school. I'll walk you through some of these, but please know that most of these are going to be coming up when your child is 9th grade and above. So for world languages, in an honors program, instead of the 3 consecutive language requirements for the Advanced Studies diploma, the honors program requires 4 consecutive years of a world language. For AP courses, a student must enroll in 6 different AP courses in 4 different content areas. They may not have a final grade below a C, and they must keep a full schedule. There will be additional GPA requirements that come up during high school, but for 8th grade, it's important that they may not get below a C in any of their courses. Once in high school, there will also be a community service requirement. Students' GPA.
York County School Division offers some specialty high school programs as well. York River Academy, School of the Arts, and the International Baccalaureate program. You and your student will get information about all of these programs next year in 8th grade. A quick reminder that TDAP is required before students begin the 7th grade year. All right, with all of that information, what's next? The most important thing is for you to sit down with your child to discuss the courses for next year. Counselors will go into the classrooms the last 2 weeks of February to help your students register. We will discuss course options and access the online registration form, where your student will make their course requests. Students will get an email confirmation indicating their course selections once they have completed it. Upon reviewing with your student, if you need to make any changes, please contact your grade level counselor. Here's a quick look at what our new online registration forms look like.
We realize that this year has presented us with some unique challenges and new situations. So if you have any questions about the registration process, we're happy to help. Please mark your calendars for Thursday, February 11th at 6:30 p.m., where counselors will be live to answer questions that you have relating to registration. We also have a form available here where you can submit questions ahead of time. That will help us anticipate some of the questions coming up and plan around those. In the newsletter, you'll find a PDF version of this entire presentation where you can access all of the links. The live Teams link for that 6:30 presentation is included here. So at the date and time, you're welcome to click on this link to join us. Be sure to also connect with us on social media for the latest news and information regarding Grafton Middle School. If you have any questions or unique situations, please feel free to reach out to your grade level counselor, as we're happy to help. We hope that your child finishes out great on this school year and want to start planning for an awesome next school year as well. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you have a great day.